Imagine if I told you all the things that I never took the time to tell. Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand that you and I is lost forever. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you run a mile, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. They say that time is a healer. I don't believe what they say. I'm broken anyway. I am
and fade to black. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Saturday. And I just said fade to black because of the video, the way that it does indeed fade to black. So, starting out with Amelia on tonight's live stream. That was requested a lot over on Patreon. So, thank you guys for requesting that as tonight's video to start the live stream. Original videos are one of my songs, by the way, just in case you didn't know, which you can grab at wingsofpegasus.com/music. But just before starting the live stream, I really felt like I'd forgotten to do something, and then when I started the live stream, I realised that I hadn't typed in the vote or the songs to vote for tonight's cover video. So I was doing those at the beginning of the live stream, and it just happens to be one of the songs with the longest titles. I just died in your arms tonight, so it took me ages to type that out. So yeah, I did indeed forget to do something, but just about righted the ship before we started the live stream. So now hopefully everything is organised and good to go. We're about to find out as we get into tonight's live stream. Let's get the likes goal up on screen. This is 365, and if we hit the target, is 312 correct? I do not know. I have to go onto my laptop here because that's how I do the field jams now. And yes, 312 is correct. So I did update that earlier. If you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And let me give you guys a shout out in the live chat room. Thank you for joining me in there. We have Howard and Sue and Alison and Xplan. Oh, with a long message. Phil, again, I've just found out I was still subscribed, but notifications were turned off, and this live stream notification had been turned off 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago, I got it. Just now it read, notify me. Okay, right. Yeah, now I think this is something that's going to be intermittent on the channel, unfortunately, with people being unsubscribed when they don't want to be unsubscribed, and not getting notifications when they have indeed clicked on notify me or clicked the bell and, yeah, effectively opted in to notifications, and then YouTube just doesn't tell people about the videos, which is a bit of a pain, but it's something that we've got to deal with now, and it's all been brought about by the other channel that I have and the other thing that I'm setting up, which you guys will know about, and I'll get into that in a second, because yeah, I won't mention the name of it because as much as I try not to mention the name of it, it accidentally slips out, and then, you know, potentially the ears that are here, there and everywhere, the algorithmic ears here that I've mentioned it, and then yeah, we get a bit prosecuted on the channel again. But anyway, yeah, hello to all you guys. We have Corey in there as well, Angela, Melody Rocks, B, Norman Lee, Bella, Diamond Girl 1 2 3 4, Bob's in the house as well, Billy and Laurie, and yeah, hello everybody. Let me try and get up to date with the comments. And oh, Belladonna says, I've had no notifications as well. I wonder. Oh, Phil has ESP. Oh, right, that's just me reading out the other message. So yeah, it's the problem with it is, of course, YouTube will just say, oh yeah, no, there's an error, and that's why people don't get notified for your videos when they're, or the live streams, when they have specifically said that they do want to get notified for them. They would just say, oh, it's an error. Or the other thing that they say is, oh, we're removing unused accounts or something like that. But when people say, I've just been unsubscribed, that means it's not an unused account. The people are actively watching the videos. So, but they have the excuses to come out with. So it's going to be impossible for me to prove anything against YouTube, I think, other than that the people's statements and their kind of, I guess, testifying that something has been changed and that they've been unsubscribed. But we'll just keep on doing what we do. As for pushing forward, obviously if the videos don't get out there very much, even to subscribers, then it is quite difficult. But we will just keep on doing what we do. regardless of what else goes on or what else tries to stop us from moving forward. So, yeah, hello everybody in the live chat room. Thank you for joining me. Now, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because, by the way, I mean, I don't mention this in my analysis videos, but my patrons are the reason that I can do this in the first place, and that goes for everything on the channel, but especially they do become even more significant, even more important to everything that I do when this algorithm thing kicks in. And it means that the amount of traffic going through YouTube and therefore my website and therefore downloads, people may be hearing my music who've checked out the website, maybe buying an album, maybe getting some merchandise. When the algorithm stops everything on YouTube, that through flow, obviously comes to a halt as well. You don't get anywhere near the same amount of people that are now checking out other things. So it means that if all of that stops, as it pretty much has done over the last, I mean, it's picking up a little bit now, which is great, but over the last maybe 2 or 3 months, basically, when I mentioned, you guys will know what I did at Christmas with the video that I mentioned with 7 vocal coaches and the reason for that video. And then after that, yeah, it's taken a few months to now pick up again, but it has very slowly. But yeah, when we get to a point where things really start to slow down, that's where if I didn't have the support from my patrons over on Patreon, yeah, I don't know what would happen. So thank you guys for all of your support and allowing me to continue to do what I do. And it's also hugely important because of my YouTube channel, which isn't allowed to be converted into a members thing, so that some YouTube channels have members content where people pay something every month and then they get extra videos. Mine isn't. I don't actually know why, because I know that I've got older videos, and this is why they said in the beginning that a lot of my videos feature music, and of course the videos get copyright claimed by the owner of that particular song, and they take the ad revenue from my analysis videos, which is absolutely fine with me. I didn't have a problem with that. When I spoke to a lawyer, about a year ago, he then let me know that I should be disputing everything because it's fair use, what I'm doing in my videos. So since then, I started disputing anything that came up. But yeah, I think the whole membership thing wasn't allowed because of featuring other people's music in the analysis videos. But then I'm sure that I've seen reaction channels that, certainly in the USA, maybe the USA have different rules, or YouTube and the USA have different rules, but I'm sure that I've seen some UK channels that still have the membership option, but that they are still featuring other people's music. So I'm going to have to maybe get to the bottom of that, because, I mean, it would be nice to have an option to do something slightly different on YouTube, and maybe have some members stuff there like I have over on Patreon. And by the way, I think that was my phone making a noise. Let me turn that off. It was just an email coming through. It's nothing really important. My phone makes that noise quite a lot, as you can imagine, with the emails that come in. Now, the other thing about phones and notifications is that my phone had a notification sound by default. And by the way, I've just changed my phone. My old phone got run over and squashed. So I had to change to a new phone. And this phone's a little bit more annoying because the notification sound for emails and everything was just a bit stupid. So then I changed it to something else. But the only problem is that the one that I changed it to sounded like a bell. And I thought, oh, well, that sounds all right, so I'll do that. And then I couldn't hear it. Or should I say, it wasn't as obvious as the other bells. So it must be at that frequency where it just blends in with other noises going on, maybe right in that mid-frequency, mid-top end, where if I'm listening to stuff or doing any planning for my analysis videos, I don't hear any messages going off. So I then changed it to this, which, I don't know whether you heard it, but it's the best of all worlds, because it has a sound that gradually phases in and ends with a bell. So we're covering a lot more frequency. This I'm now getting into the science of my notification sound. So now we have a lot of frequency being covered and then a bell at the end. So it means that because it's covering a lot of frequency, it's going to cut through if you're listening to something else that's just in a particular frequency. So anyway, there you go, a little bit of a trivia about my notification sound as it went off. That's what it was. But yeah, the whole membership thing, I'll have to maybe reach out. I'm trying to think if anybody in the UK, of the people that I know who have larger channels, whether they have memberships or not, because I could ask them about it. But anyway, getting back to Patreon, and I will get the Patreon address up on screen because that's where lots of people requested Amelia to start the stream with tonight, and they request the cover videos for the live streams as well. Over on Patreon, if anything's happening or going on, I'll leave an update there, and all of the analysis videos for YouTube have their own separate link on Patreon. So I know that YouTube isn't sometimes telling people about the videos, so that's why I upload them to Patreon and leave a link there so people can definitely get to it, and you'll receive an email with the link for every single video. So there's that side of it. And yeah, and if you want to, you can message me directly. I guess that's the other main thing. You get your name on the live stream as well if you are a patron over there. So you can make a free account as well over on Patreon. But yeah, there's also a guitar course just for beginners that I did years and years ago. So yeah, there's lots of stuff over there. But thank you guys for who have checked out Patreon and are patrons of mine for allowing me to continue to do what I do, because I don't think people necessarily appreciate how important it is. But it's absolutely, I mean, I do say it's the foundation of everything that I do, and that is absolutely true. So right, oh yeah, Cindy says Danny Sapko has memberships. Maybe Danny was who I was thinking of when I saw that, yeah, there's some other channels or a channel in the UK that had that. I'll have to ask him about that because, yeah, he also features other musicians and artists, and I'll have to see kind of how that works. Yeah, certainly in his videos he plays segments of people's songs and, you know, bass riffs and guitar riffs. So I'll see how that works. But the other thing is, I was going to say the other thing is I can't really say a lot about this because it's news about something that I can only really talk about on Patreon, which is my side project, the thing that I can't mention on this channel. So with that particular side project, hopefully, fingers crossed, there might be something that's relatively significant that could be happening in the future. But I can't say anything about it. As soon as I can, I'll mention it on Patreon. At the moment, it's just something that I'm talking about through emails with someone who's from the particular organization that, yeah, we might be working together with something in the future. And yeah, it would be really cool, I think, personally, if what we're talking about actually starts to happen. But that's, yeah, it's all for my side project. You guys in the live chat room who've been watching for any length of time will know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's what the video was about at Christmas with the vocal coaches. It was all to do with that same side project. So yeah, I'll have some news for you maybe next week, because in the moment I'm going to be having a meeting sometime next week. It might be on Monday, it might not, because we're just trying to figure out our diaries and schedules at the moment. But as soon as I know something, I will let you guys know. But over on Patreon is probably the only place I'm going to be able to mention it. Firstly, because of the YouTube algorithm, but also because of the organization that it's working with, and maybe things not wanting to be talked about too much, because yeah, with the setup, it'll make sense when I mention it, but with the setup and the things that are potentially going to be working in the future, we've just got to keep it on the down low for the moment, that my side project is looking at particular performances and giving a place for artists who are doing everything fully live in order for them to be featured in a particular way, but with another organization. So yeah, it's interesting. We will see, fingers crossed, but it can always be the case that nothing happens, and I guess if then nothing happens, I can tell you what it was all about anyway. But yeah, certainly to stay in the loop, head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. So by the way, if you can hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated, because we are aiming for 365 likes tonight, and we're already at 272. So what a start that is. Are we looking for 93 more people? That's what my brain has just thrown at me for some reason. So there you go. That's the maths done. I'm going to say that that's what we needed, 93. Right, what else? Oh, the donations tab. You don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So for those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. So you don't have to donate, as I always say during these live streams. So now, as for what we're going to be getting into tonight, we've got a few donations. Oh, actually, that reminds me, there's a donation at the end of the live. Was it at the end of the last live stream? I don't think it was. It might have been just one that slipped through the net. But it was Mitch Marie who donated £2. So thank you for that. And the message was, I recently saw a video on how Auto-Tune Live is set up, and it's a tedious process. There are parameters you must program, such as speed, key, scale, notes to tune, vibrato, etc. Turning it on/off is also another specific task. Will it come to the point where it's impossible to detect? And yeah, I did actually answer Mitch Marie personally about this question, because she did message to see if I'd missed the message, the donation, which I did. And just to let everybody know that I don't use Auto-Tune myself. I don't even have an Auto-Tune pedal, or the only thing that I've got, which was just for research purposes and demonstration purposes, is Melodyne, which I just got in my Logic Pro digital audio workstation that I played around with just to see what it could do, and realize what you can actually achieve with it. But Auto-Tune, in terms of live Auto-Tune, all of the settings on there, you can get as detailed as you want to. So if you know the key of your song, which you should do, you'll know the notes that are in your song, therefore relevant to the key. So it means that Auto-Tune is only going to start producing notes that are relevant to the key of the song in the scale that you want, that is relevant to the key, which is an important thing. You don't want Auto-Tune to start going all over the place and putting in random notes. So it means that it gives you even more room for error. If you are missing a particular note and you might be quite a way off, it means that Auto-Tune will just pick the closest one in the scale, and it means that you'll never potentially sing a wrong note. It might sound weird if you are all over the place and it's snapping it like I don't know, doing some sweep picking arpeggios with your voice, but dialing in your sound and the attack, the onset. Usually artists have that quite quick, so that you don't actually hear the incorrect note, you only hear the Auto-Tune. And that's something that is going to be a standard thing, that the Auto-Tune comes in pretty much immediately, because you don't want to hear a note that is wrong and then it's suddenly being corrected. But even with the application of Auto-Tune now, what I have noticed is that they are getting a smoother transition between notes that don't now sound, or that they're not as obvious as the flips, the Auto-Tune flips that you can hear, that I point out in analysis videos. And even though with live performances we've still been able to point them out, with the Youngblood performances that I looked at, which are probably the most recent examples of Auto-Tune, we still had some flips going on there, but you can hear how it's now trying to smooth out the flips even more, But I mean, in that particular case, it was kind of smoothly flipping it to the wrong note. So, you know, a note that wasn't part of the original melody and wasn't even in the key the song was. So, yeah, the technology will advance. Is it ever going to be impossible to detect? I don't know, maybe. I think the reason that people can't really detect it is because it happens so much now. People's ears have just got used to it, or they've maybe never heard anything that hasn't been tuned. So they don't know what the other sound is. But I think if you've grown up hearing natural voices and then you listen to something that's being tuned, you can hear a processor working. There's something in the signal that just makes it instantly recognizable. But you'll be able to hear A440 as well. So this is the other thing, that if it is strictly calibrated to A440, regardless of the processing sound on the vocal, you will be able to hear A440. For those people that can hear it, and such as myself, you'll be able to tell straight away that, oh, there's something weird about this vocal, as in the accuracy is mechanical, if they do manage to eradicate the processing sound or the processed sound to it. So yeah, thank you for that donation. And that was, yeah, in the last live stream. So what I want to do now is try to see if we can get up to date in the PayPal window, because we had a donation from John as well. So thank you for that, John. And that was a straight up donation. Now, what I'm going to be doing in tonight's live stream, even though I can see we're already at 11:30 here in the UK, we will get through maybe some questions that people have that are more music related. I know last time what we were talking about, again, aliens and orbs and stuff. Not to say that we won't talk about other interesting things, but I mean, some people do have genuinely important questions that they want to bring up about music, and maybe either singing or playing the guitar and stuff that we can cover. I guess the whole auto-tune thing is relevant for that discussion as well, but we will kind of spread around the topics a little bit. And I'm just going to check here after John's donation. Cindy donated £30 as well, so thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is, hi Phil, can you demonstrate the difference between alternate picking, economy picking and sweep picking? Thanks. So thank you for that. Now, we're going to have to maybe do this very quickly, because those three techniques, I could spend probably half an hour on each of them, if half an hour is a lesson, to show exactly what's going on. But what I will do is I will grab the guitar, and I mean, that was right on cue, saying that we might have some guitar-based questions. So, okay, right. This should be on. Okay, right, yeah, it's on. It's still got the delay on for the fill jam, if we have that later on. So, I'll start with alternate picking. So, should we try and see if the red dude can appear? And then... What's he doing? Okay, right, we just have to... I don't know why, because he appeared just before I started the stream, where it's zoomed in, and then trying to zoom out, he doesn't want to do. So, alternate picking is exactly what it sounds like. So, when you've got a downstroke and moving your pick up and down, that's how it works. If you're doing any kind of rhythm, you're going down and up, which is called strumming when you're hitting the strings. But then when you're picking, you're doing a very small version of a strum. You're just now hitting one string, like that. So if I'm going, take off a bit of the gain, you can hear the still. If I go like that little gallop, that needed for me to go up with my pick. So alternate picking is when you're combining going down and up, like this, like that. So in obviously with rhythm, I don't think you're going to be doing that too much. And what have I done? I've started in A, so we'll kind of now like that. That was alternate picking, going like that, and I'm kind of applying palm muting. So yeah, that's it. With my own playing, I tend not to do too much alternate picking. I'll tend to alternate pick a little bit and combine it with hammer-ons and pull-offs. But if we're just talking about technique, alternate picking. So generally, when you're playing things that are a bit faster, and you want that more aggressive sound, you know, that, like that. You know, so it kind of accentuates the notes by picking each of them, but that was all alternate picking. So that down, up, down, up. But then, so then when you speed it up, you can still hear all of those notes quite clearly. But like I said, it's not something I tend to do much of with kind of playing fast in general. But I think the next one we had, I've lost the message, but it was economy picking. And economy picking is, if we're, let's just change key to keep it interesting. So in E minor, let's say we wanted to play, economy picking is exactly what it sounds like, where it's more economical to get to the next string. So it means that you're not strictly alternating, you know, going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. There might be a particular run where, take that same run or principle that I did with the alternate picking, where I would go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's alternate picking. Economy picking, if I wanted that last note to come in even more quickly, I can go down, up, down, down. So now I've got two downs in a row. And the reason that I did that, I might go, and you kind of might want to do something like that, where you're blending and you're more kind of rolling over to the note with the downstroke, so that the note comes in almost instantaneously after that, you know, that third finger, up, down, down. You know, it's like, you know, that. So I'm just muting that to get those two downstrokes in a row. So yeah, there's loads of places where you'll be using alternate picking, economy picking, kind of messing up the order in order to be most economical. And with that particular approach, you then the last one was kind of sweep picking. So the sweep picking is doing a sweeping stroke across strings. So you might have, let's go to G, just for the fun of it, because different key for each explanation. So here, now if I'm doing all of the same direction, like this, down, 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 now I would tend to go, I would do a little pull off at the top there and then resume the sweep picking. So what I'm doing, I'm sweep picking on arpeggio here, so it means that we're just taking the notes from a chord, and that's what arpeggio is. The reason that I don't play arpeggios is because I've never thought in my head that they tend to be played quite quickly, and I've never, when I'm singing through the guitar, I've never been able to sing that quickly. Nobody can sing that quickly. But anyway, here I'm going down, 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 up. I do a little pull off there, up, up. So now we're we're sweeping across the strings. And if you want to, so you're going up and down, just picking those notes. So that, when I'm thinking about what I do, I can kind of do it, but then breaking it down is more difficult. But anyway, yeah, that sound, those notes, I've never been able to think that quickly. But yeah, with that, well, this is quite a good thing to practice. Not that I do this, but the tapping in as well, it means that you're doing on the Fender Strat as well. Oh, this is another thing to mention, that when you're playing these kinds of techniques, you might find that if you've got a higher action, it does take, it might be more difficult to play like this. If you've got a lower action where you just have to kind of touch on the string to work your way across it, then you might find it a little bit easier. But anyway, that, I had my volume turned down as well, which would probably a good way to practice that. But now, yeah, but I don't really do that. It's just if you want to practice it, it's literally just picking out your arpeggios of whichever chord you want to arpeggiate, and just working through it slowly. So you would be going, and this is why it's just not of interest to me. First of all, because I can't sing all those notes that quickly, so I'd never think of doing that. But going. And doing that, you have to do that ideally to a click track for just ages, and then you have to speed it up a little bit once you're comfortable at that speed, and then you speed it up a little bit, do it for ages, speed it up a little bit more, do it for ages, speed up a little bit more, do it for ages, and yeah, you just spend all of your, well, you should be splitting up your practice with different techniques if you're kind of wanting to play in that kind of way, but you just have to do that for months and months and months and years in order to get it as fast as you want to get it, and yeah, be able to arpeggiate chords. But I think it just depends really what kind of style you play in, or what kind of a player you are, whether you want to do those kinds of techniques and kind of rely on that kind of muscle memory, the subconscious muscle memory, or if you want to play consciously and come up with melodies on the guitar. It just depends what you're into. So yeah, those are the different picking techniques that you've got, or at least the ones that were covered there. Yeah, I guess the other thing, or the other kind of picking technique that is asked about is hybrid picking, which is when you're using your pick, but then you use your other fingers in order to pick another string. So that's all that is. And a hybrid, it is basically like finger style, but with a pick as well. You've got the hybrid of those two different ways of playing, because finger style is usually without the pick, because it's finger style, and then the pick is usually without the fingers, but then you get the hybrid of the two, where you might have somebody who's using that and that second finger gives a little pinch, and I'm just trying to think now, because technically technically if you're picking that string, you're doing hybrid picking, because I'm thinking about when doing kind of tapping and picking the next string, because that's something that I guess that still counts as well. Doing that, I never thought of kind of the picking with the other finger being in that bracket of hybrid picking, but yeah, it is. Anyway, that wasn't even in the question. So there you go. That was tonight's guitar lesson. The most important thing is just to practice it slowly. It doesn't really matter what you're practicing out of those 3 techniques, but if you're using it in like alternate picking and economy picking, for rhythm playing, and doing gallops, for example, you're going, that kind of thing, then it's just slowing it down. And it's just kind of getting used to that. I think when you get into kind of heavier styles of music, then you'll start to kind of want to work at that maybe for your rhythm on that low E string. And here I'm kind of resting on the string to get that muted sound, because if you go, it's kind of very open sounding, whereas that does tend to kind of highlight the fact that you're kind of doing a gallop in there. So there we go, that was that. And yeah, I mean, let me just move on and see if there's anything else. Okay, Nicole donated £20. Thank you for that. And the message was, "Hi Phil, I have a bad cough. I'm counting on the live stream to lighten my evening. Kiss and great rock sensation." So thank you for that. And Debbie's donated £15. So thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, "Hi Phil, I will be on Catch Up Crew tonight. I am going to an old restored theatre to see a candlelight tribute to the Beatles. Have a great live stream. You're awesome. Love you, Debbie." So thank you for that, and yeah, enjoy your show. And this just says a £10 donation. From Roberto. So thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation. Karen's donated £5 and 20p, so thank you for that. And the message is, "Hi Phil, just for fun, have you ever done something that you consider to be mischievous? If so, please share. Inquiring minds are curious. Thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen." So thank you for that. I'd say my first mischievous thing that I ever did was, and I don't think this is really an intentional thing, but we used to get 20p worth of sweets from the corner shop, and each sweet was, I think, 1p, but then some were 2p. So you had to kind of measure up what you wanted. And I know that on one particular occasion, I had picked up 21p worth of sweets. And yeah, I don't think it was an intentional, I just wasn't, I didn't calculate it very well. But anyway, the age that I was, when I knew, and this was after we'd paid for it and I'd been home and I was eating them, when I realised what I'd done, I obviously had a bit of a problem conscience-wise. So the next day that we went to get our 20p worth of sweets, I filled my bag up with 19p worth and then said to the person behind the desk that I had 20p. So then I could live with myself. So there you go. There's an insight into my child mind. I don't know how old I must have been back then, getting sweets after school. It would have been primary school. But yeah, anyway, there you go. that's just what I could think of. A very, very long time ago, obviously, has stuck with me as being a very, very serious deal. Anyway, Casey's donated £25, so thank you for that. And the message is, "Here's to messy truth over manufactured beauty." So thank you for that. And Karen's donated again £5 and says, "Hi Phil, you mentioned using different ringtones on your phone. Do you use a ringtone or song in lieu of an alarm clock? Imagine the Beatles' Revolution, waking up from your phone, the very beginning. Your reaction. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen." So no, I now set my alarm on my watch, and it's just an alarm that I quite like. It's just an old school alarm type, just single kind of chime, just goes beep beep, beep beep, beep beep, and I prefer that than having any kind of song or anything going on. So yeah, nothing particularly complicated about my alarm. Lisa's donated £7.18, so thank you for that. And the message is, perhaps on another live stream you could demonstrate on your acoustic guitar for us beginners. So thank you for that. It's exactly the same technique. So all of the techniques that I'm doing on the electric guitar will cross over to the acoustic guitar. They're all the same things. So yeah, it doesn't really matter which guitar. Obviously this is convenient because it's here, it's plugged in, and yeah, it's ready to go for the Fill Jam later on, which by the way we are going to be having because we're at 373 likes. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we're going to be having a jam at the end of the live stream. And right, we are up to date in the PayPal window. Now, what was I looking at before? I think it was a message from Joe that was related to guitar type stuff. And oh, here we go, because it's with the message for the Fill Jam. And the question for this was, how useful is it to be a multi-instrumentalist? Not from the perspective of doing your own recordings so you can play all the parts, but as for enlightening one about their own instrument and how it fits into the harmonic and melodic environment of an ensemble. So thank you for that. I think rather than I don't think the focus is really that much on being a multi-instrumentalist. Of course, if you want to learn to play other instruments, then you can do. And yeah, it's good to be able to kind of piece things together and hear other instruments and figure out what's going on. But I would say more importantly, with a broader view to music, it's important to be able to listen to something and decipher what that is. I'm not even talking about an instrument here, I'm talking about a set of notes. So that when you're trying to piece something together, if you're listening to something, you know that, say for example, that note was higher than the previous note, or that note was lower than the previous note. So you can start to gauge where pitch stands, and then when you are putting together your own music, if you are an instrumentalist but not a multi-instrumentalist, it means that it's going to give you an appreciation of melody and harmony, because you'll be able to put notes together and you would have heard other songs, artists, bands where they've been using harmony, and you'll be able to hear what that harmony is, what the harmony vocal is doing behind that main melody, and you'll know what the main melody is. So all of that, it just opens up the doors for learning, that you're now learning about harmony and melody and how the things go together, which notes will naturally go with other notes in particular keys, and you won't have to learn any theory. You'll just be able to do it. It'll be instinctive that you'll be able to start singing harmony lines over melodies because your brain will have figured it out without needing to know any theory. If you just work with the sound first, then yeah, your ear will learn, and you'll be able to decipher pitch and notes, especially if you are an instrumentalist. And I think it really helps as well if you can think of a melody in your head, or sing a melody in your head, or even sing a melody out loud. Maybe just try to train your voice. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be able to cover 3 or 4 octaves, but just where you talk, just being able to hit a particular note or sing a rough guide of a melody, so then you can start to work with your instrument as well, so that whatever you're singing, your melody, you'll be able to play straight away on your guitar, or whatever it may be. Because yeah, I think from my experience, there are a lot of people who are playing the instrument, or should I say, it's more like the instrument is playing them, because they're just going through all the scales and all the shapes that they know. They're not going through the instrument, and the instrument is just the thing that is playing what you've got in your head. And that goes back to the subconscious kind of techniques that we mentioned earlier that I don't really kind of use or work at, because yeah, everything that I want to do is going through the guitar. I don't want the guitar kind of going through me, because it kind of goes in the wrong direction. So when it's all kind of subconscious muscle memory, you will need some element of that, and you might want to just play all, subconsciously the whole time. But then if you want to create melody and create solos and do that on the fly, so that you can just keep on playing forever, without repeating lines all the time, then yeah, you'll have to know where the notes are that are in your head, but on the guitar. And again, melody, understanding pitch, that's where that all comes in, and you'll be able to do that more effectively. So anyway, yes, we are going to be so yeah, in terms of being a multi-instrumentalist, it's not really that important, I wouldn't say personally, but being able to train your ear and yeah, learn as much as you can from sound. I wouldn't even worry about looking up theory. Just work with sound and get used to how things sound, so that you know that, or that was a fifth, for example. And I guess when you get used to where the notes are, you'll get used to the sound of them. So like I said, if I'm just talking and I go nah, so this is about the pitch that I'm talking, where would a fifth be? According to that tone that I'm creating, nah, I know that is a fifth, but just because of listening to music and knowing that, that's where that would be. So if you put those two notes together, you've already got a harmony of your original note that you were singing. So yeah, all of that, you can just break down sound automatically, and you might not even know that that's called a fifth, but it might be the note that you can hear in the background when you're singing a note. You think, that note would be quite nice going along with it. So yeah. Anyway, when you do work with other musicians, obviously, then knowing a bit of theory does help, because then, say for example, I wanted somebody to play a fifth, at least I'd be able to sing that straight away to them, or just tell them to play the fifth. That they should know what you're talking about. But yeah, even if you're working with people that don't have a lot of theoretical knowledge, you'll be able to just sing the note, and you'll be able to play it on your guitar to show them. But anyway, thank you for that. We are going to be jumping into the cover video for tonight. It looks like it's another 50-50. Let me see what it's going to be. Did this happen in the last live stream? What are the odds, with 278 people voting, that we have a 50-50 split? But it's happened. So there we go. Behind Blue Eyes, 50%. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight, 50%, which means we're having another flipped coin. Where is the coin? That is the question. It's because it happens once in a blue moon. I thought, it's not important to have a coin. But here we go. So, I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight is going to be heads, and Behind Blue Eyes is going to be tails. Let's do that. And it's tails, which is Behind Blue Eyes. So that's what we're going to be listening to tonight. Unbelievably, the 50-50 split decided by a coin flip. It's going to be Behind Blue Eyes, my version of the Who classic. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We've got a picture corner coming up after this as well, and then the fill jam. So I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be fated, to telling only lies. But But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours all lonely. My love is vengeance, it's never free. No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings like I do. And I blame you. No one bites back as hard on their anger. None of my pain or woe can show through. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours lonely, lonely. My love is vengeance, it's never free. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. And I spend hours lonely, lonely. My love is vengeance, it's never
And there we have it. That was my version of Behind Blue Eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And I just have to address the donations in the Super Chat window as well, because we had a few in there. Paul donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message was, let's have fun tonight and spike the likes all y'all. Peace, love, and rock. And JC donated $20 with a cat holding some kind of trophy cup thing. So thank you for that. And Jennifer donated $7. So thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, my dad, why am I getting an echo? My dad said his old high school band teacher could tell any note that was flat or sharp that someone played. Can you? So yeah, if somebody's slightly flat or slightly sharp, yeah, you should be able to tell the difference between those two, especially if you're a band teacher. What I would say is more difficult is going nah, and knowing that that is an E. So kind of knowing the notes in your head, rather than, because if I'm playing an E here and I go and make it flat, you can hear it go, and I think most people can hear that the note is changing. Whereas just picking out the note and knowing, oh, that's an E, yeah, that's a, I'd say that's probably more difficult. But and then especially if you play guitar, once you've got that E, then you know all of the rest of the strings, or at least you will do. If you tune your guitar a lot, you'll know that na, you know that's a B, na, na, da, na, back up to where you start to E, but an octave, a couple of octaves lower. But that's an E2. I haven't got a very low voice, so yeah, I'd have to probably warm up my voice to get it down low, because that's also something that you have to do. So yeah, if you do play an instrument and you tune it and you know where those pitches are, then if you can just pick out one note, then you'll get all of the others just by default from knowing the instrument very well, which again is really handy for singing through the guitar, knowing which notes are going to happen where. But I'd say that's much more, I don't know, complicated version of just hearing sharp and flat. I think a lot of people can hear the difference between those two. So anyway, yes, thank you for that. And we are going to be jumping into very quickly let me get this organized, because I need to do the screen capture, which I haven't done yet. So let me think that there. Now some of the pictures might disappear because of the pixel ratio being different between photos, but let's try and get this up on screen. I'll jump into Picture Corner and I'll see you guys in a second visually, but you'll hear me in a second anyway. So let me see where this is going to actually be on screen. Let's have a look. Okay, it's kind of in the middle, so that'll have to do. Right, let me skip this advert. It's all kicking off at the moment. So this is Barbara, and Barbara says, wearing my Wings of Pegasus shirt while shopping in Greenfield, Wisconsin. So thank you for that. And by the way, I think these are now the shirts with the high-res logo on. Well, this is always the high-res logo, but the other logo that I've uploaded of the old version of the logo, that's now a high-resolution image as well. Right, let me see. Aha, right, so we have another one. This is from Angela saying, received my Tumblr, really like the design, thanks for bringing it back. So thank you for that. And we have another one here. This is B, and B says, new Wings of Pegasus shirt and new Helios cap at the Helios Horse Training and Rehab Open House. Then an acoustic jam in the afternoon. Fun day. So thank you for that. And we have Angela here saying, here's my new old Wings of Pegasus t-shirt that just arrived. I really like this older design. Thanks, Phil, for putting this back into circulation. And no problem. There's another one from Angela, I believe, that this I think was supposed to be done last time, but then I forgot to do it, ran out of time. So Angela says, today was a good day to take a 3-mile walk on the beach in my Wings of Pegasus hoodie. I love how the red eyes in Pegasus stand out and complement the background. The actual walk was 3.25 miles for those of you that wanted the exact distance. So thank you for that, Angela, and that is Picture Corner for tonight. So let's get out of there and get into... Okay, I've just seen that this fill jam is 8 minutes and 39 seconds in length. So we're going to have to jump into this. And I can see that Karen's just donated $5, but we're still plugged in, so we can go straight into it, hopefully. Karen says, I had a professor who would ask us what notes the car horns were honking. I always guessed correctly. Laugh out loud. Ever tried doing that? No, I haven't. So let's jump into the fill jam for tonight, because we're going to have to get into this quickly so that we finish the stream on time.
You spend most of your workday in
I think I clicked on something wrong there. Let me get back to Joe's message. I think I missed the link. Aha, this is more like it. This is a backing track. Right, so this is Spectrum backing tracks, cinematic ballad, 127 BPM, 4/4 key, D minor. If you want to check this out, it's Pat Matrone or Pat Matrone on YouTube. Okay, this is still on. Let's have a listen. I'm listening through a laptop, so yeah, it is what it is, and I can't really do much about the levels. was it. Oh, I ruined the ending by saying, when is it going to finish? Because it finished exactly then. So, there we have it. That was a Spectrum backing tracks cinematic ballad 127 beats per minute 4/4. That's like a 4. Oh, let me skip this advert. There we go. Right, so yeah, 4/4, which is like 4, and then the what would you call that? /4, which is the time signature. And key D minor from Pat Matrone on YouTube, or Matrone. So thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. That was tonight's Phil Jam. And thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we had a Phil Jam. We did have a donation in there as well. Diamond Girl 1234 donated $3 with a big thumbs up, so thank you for that. And Angela donated $10 and says thanks for the lovely jam. So thank you for that as well. And we actually ended up with 414 likes. So we made it by quite a way. Thank you guys for allowing us to have the jam, busting out the guitar. But yeah, a bit of a guitar themed live stream tonight for a bit of a change. But I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. And yeah, live streaming again on Tuesday. If you guys can join me then, that would be very much appreciated. I can see that David's gone through with a $1.99 donation. Thank you for that, saying vibes. Yeah, here with another video tomorrow night. Look out for that. And that's 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time. If you want to get the exact time that video will be released, because of people maybe being unsubscribed or not being notified for videos, even though they think they're going to be notified for videos, and then YouTube doesn't do that. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow night's video, and hopefully on Tuesday, if you can make it, that's where I will be, 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time, as always, for the live streams. All that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!